Hey there, Wild Spirit on YouTube. Here is your reading for the week of August 13th, Friday the 13th, lucky 13. I don't know. The theme for this week, because every week I like to have a theme for my Wild Spirit Society members, so I thought I would do the same thing for you. So even if you're a man, you can still have this same theme. So the theme this week is about the divine feminine. What do I need to know most about my feminine energy? I know as a dude, you're probably going, but we all have masculine and feminine energies inside of us. And Jake Woodard, who's one of my most favorite influencers of all time, I'm in his course right now. Go follow him. He's amazing on Instagram and YouTube. Jake Woodard, he's awesome. He talks a lot about this. But for me personally, I know that the last 3 or 4 years, I've been really trying to embody my feminine energy more, because I know that I was really steeped in my masculine, and more to the point where it was becoming very off balance. So I want you to think about your life, your relationships, your work, how you are showing up in the world. If your core energy is feminine, you could be a man and your core energy could be feminine. If you're a woman, your core energy is more than likely feminine. Ask yourself what your relationship is like with your feminine energy, because there is a lot of power in that. And there is a reclamation of the feminine, divine feminine especially, across the world, and there's something to be said about masculine energy is like fire, feminine energy is like water. Both are very powerful, both have destructive qualities if it's too much, and both have the ability to transform one state to another state. So think about areas in your life and how you can invoke and embody more of your feminine essence and your feminine energy to help transform or transmute a situation. That's what the cards are going to bring to your attention today. So are you ready? My Wild Spirit Society open for membership, by the way, and on September 1st I am starting my very first Wild Spirit Reads book club, and we will be reading Women Who Run with the Wolves. We're going to focus on 6 chapters only, and we're going to do 1 chapter a month, because there is a deep dive. This book is not like you read it from cover to cover. It's not like you read it like a novel, no, or any other personal development book, quite frankly. It's such a deep dive into your psyche and your deep shit that you have to spend some time lingering in each chapter. So I'm going to choose 6 chapters that have really changed my life and continue to change my life, because this book is like my Bible. And I'm not the only woman who says that. There's so many other women who've read it who are like, this book changed my life. And I use it on a daily basis. So it is really the spine and the core of my life and my life's work, which is why I'm very excited to be your guide in this book club offering, which is only available to my monthly membership members. And it's along with the book club, as a member for only $20 a month Canadian, you will receive weekly extended readings from me. So they're like this, but they're about 15 to 20 minutes long, and you get to choose from 2 20-minute readings, 7 card readings, and those drop every Friday to your inbox. Also, every 3rd Wednesday of every month is a live Zoom reading with me, whichever members show up, and I do 3 card readings for every person on that call, so that's super fun. Also, you get my Dabbler to Diva Beginners Tarot course, which I only teach in the membership now, and I just taught level 1 in the spring, and I'm going to be doing level 2 in the fall, in October. And it doesn't matter if you miss level 1, because you get the recordings to watch ahead of time. The other thing that we'll be doing inside the membership is Desire Map Workshop. So this is where you decide how you want to feel in every day of your life. And I also do some like ongoing coaching in there, and I offer other sort of drop-in Facebook Live lessons. One thing I'm going to be focusing on is shadow work, which is really, really important to me and to a lot of people, so I'm really focusing on that. Other than that, there's a lot of stuff going on in my business. My 30-day tarot challenge is starting on September 1st. That's a free challenge with over 200 people in that Facebook group. It's really, really fun. So for 30 days, you pick a card every day. And I also drop in tarot lessons throughout the whole 4 weeks. So that's really fun. My Sunday sessions is a 4-week free offering where you sign up to get a video every month, a video lesson based on an element. And there are guided meditations and practices for you to try. Also, my Soulful Living Sessions 8-week signature course runs again in February. And so the portal will open for that on September 21st. So I got lots of things going on. Visit lisajamis.com for more information. And now let's get into your reading, shall we? All right. Divine Feminine, what is going on in your life? So we've got 5 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, and the Star. So the fact that you have a major arcana tells me that you need to listen up to this message. So there's a major turning point or a transition that you're going through right at this moment. Could also be a life lesson, which actually when I see your cards together, I feel like this is a life lesson for you. May even be a reoccurring theme. So what's the difference between those two? Well, a life lesson is obvious. Everybody has life lessons throughout their life. Usually they drop in first in childhood. So we're too young to really understand what's happening, right? So we don't learn it the first time. Then it usually comes around again in another context with other people, other situations in teenage years. We still might not get it because we're still pretty underdeveloped. Well, then the same exact feeling. So the life lesson, as it morphs into a recurring theme, is a feeling. So each life lesson, you'll have a certain feeling. When I work with people one-on-one, so if you're interested in doing work with me one-on-one, this is a core of what I do as well, on top of a bunch of other stuff. But what I do with clients is when we uncover a feeling, let's say I go, I think this is a life lesson here for you, a reoccurring theme. And I ask them to describe what it feels like in this situation. Like, let's say, for example, they're in a relationship and the feeling we pare down to, and I keep digging deeper and deeper until, let's say, they get to a feeling of abandonment, let's say. And I'll go, okay, stick with that feeling. And I want you to go back in time and tell me another time you had that exact same feeling of abandonment. Oftentimes, it's the family of origin. And we go all the way back there. And sometimes just identifying that that's what it's connected to is enough to shift massively. They start crying and they have a huge healing moment. Other times it's a little more work, and we spend a little bit of time in childhood, and then we move forward in time of another time you had that feeling, and then we start to identify certain situations that uncover this wound. So that's what I think we're dealing with here, is a reoccurring theme where you have possibly are hooked into a life pattern, like a story you keep telling yourself, or a pattern of behavior, or relating to a certain situation. And I know this because this card here is very indicative of this kind of feeling. 5 of Cups. This is when we are stuck in the story of feeling sorry for ourselves. He's focusing on the negative. He's focusing what he's lost, ignoring the fact that there are 2 full cups behind him. He's completely ignoring that. And he's just so in his grief and so in his sadness that he's not willing to look up and go, oh, things aren't that bad, right? She's doing the same thing. I always use the 2 decks. She's focusing on all of the stuff pouring out of those cups and not realizing there's one behind her that's full of all this rainbow shit. I'll get my head out of the way so you can maybe see it a little better. It's not really focusing. Why are you not focusing? So you can see that when we get stuck in this pessimistic mindset, this sort of woe is me mindset, it's almost impossible to see our way out of it because we're just so stuck in our own sad story. Okay, so here's the antidote. There's two suggestions for this. One is to get busy. So I just had this discussion with my partner the other day because he was feeling mopey, I think was the word he used. I can't remember. If he's watching, he could tell me. I think he said he was feeling mopey. And so I suggested, which is what works for me, because usually when I offer up something to you or to someone I love, I'll say it, this is what works for me. When I'm feeling like this kind of everything's terrible, I feel so sad because everything's not working. And maybe it's not working to shift mine to the positive, is what I do is I get busy and I work with my hands. And so I will clean a closet, or I'll go and I'll organize, or I'll declutter, I'll put uplifting music on, and I just get physically moving. That really helps. So you can see the 8 of Pentacles. He's happily sitting there chiseling away at pentacle by pentacle, and step by step he's building sort of this productiveness, which can help shift us out of this mopey, sad state. And this one, 8 of Pentacles, this version here, she's focused on the candle. She's kind of ignoring all of the things that are in front of her and just focusing on the one thing. And that's also a good tip, is when things seem very overwhelming and sad especially, then it's good to just focus on one thing in front of you at a time to kind of get you out of that funk. The other piece that's more important than anything, the most important message for you this week around this issue, trust in the unfolding of things. The Star is the ultimate card of trust, other than the Fool. The Fool is also trusting. You know, there's the free fall, the light seer's deck. She's falling backwards in that trust fall we did when we were kids. It used to scare the shit out of me. When you your friends are behind you and you hope to God they don't drop you. Okay, so that. But there's also this idea of taking the leap. You know, that's the Fool as well. But the Star card is literally about trusting that you're always connected. So in this case, this figure here, she is trusting that even though she's dumping her vase of water, that there's always will be replenished. always is this flow of in and out. When we expend out, we're going to have back in. This is like money, this is energy, this is love. You know what I'm saying? So if you give love and you know that love is flowing, you give it, it comes back to you. Same with money, same with resources, right? Time is another one. Even though time is not real, it's a whole nother discussion for another day. But this one here, she's trusting that she's always connected to source and to the earth as well. She has this fine thread of light that is constantly connected. And this is something we have to remember, especially if we're going through a time like this, when we're feeling very depressed, very down, like things will never get better. This is the most important time. We have to remember that we are connected at all times. So how do we do this? Sometimes there's this really great meme about how we're not tired, physically tired, we're not mentally tired, we're soul tired. So when you're soul tired, just having a nap, watching Netflix, none of that's going to work. The antidote or the remedy or the solution for soul tiredness is prayer. Any kind of prayer, contemplation, spiritual reading, spiritual work. For me, it's diving back to my Sisterhood of Avalon practices, my spiritual practices. That is the only thing that makes my soul feel rested, and that you really do feel rested. My best friend, she goes to church, and when she goes to church, she feels quenched. She said she just feels nourished and she feels better. So if you're feeling that kind of soul tiredness, that's what I encourage you to do, and just trust in the unfolding of things. I hope you liked your reading. I hope to see you in Wild Spirit Society. The price is going up in January to $33 a month Canadian. So if you lock in now at $20 a month Canadian, it's that forever. It's amazing. And other than that, please visit my website at lisajames.com to find all kinds of different ways of working with me. I absolutely love hopping on YouTube with you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.